Have you ever prayed for something and not gotten what you're hoping for? Yeah, me neither. Hey there, my name is Wayne and welcome to 330 Thursday, the internet's second favorite Bible study. I'm glad that I'm not God. I think I would be really, really bad at it. Actually, sometimes I'm not even that good at being Wayne. When we pray for things, so often we just have our perspective, how we think things should go, what we think would be best. But our God has a much bigger perspective than that. His view is so much bigger than we could even fathom. Today we're going to be looking at a story in Luke chapter 5 where four friends bring their paralyzed friend to see Jesus. In Luke 5 verse 17 it says, "One of those days, as he was teaching, Pharisees and teachers of the law were sitting there, who had come from every village of Galilee and Judea, and from Jerusalem. And the power of the Lord was with him to heal. And behold, some men were bringing on a bed a man who was paralyzed. And they were seeking to bring him and lay him before Jesus. But finding no way to bring him in because of the crowd, they went up on the roof and let him down with his bed through the tiles into the midst before Jesus. And when he saw their faith, he said, 'Man, your sins are forgiven.' And the scribes and the Pharisees began to question, saying, 'Who is this who speaks blasphemies? Who can forgive sins but God alone?' When Jesus perceived their thoughts, he answered them, 'Why do you question in your hearts? Which is easier to say, your sins are forgiven, or to say, rise and walk? But that you may know that the Son of Man has authority on earth to forgive sins, he said to the man who was paralyzed, 'I say to you, rise, pick up your bed, and go home.' And immediately he rose up before them and picked up what he had been lying on and went home, glorifying God. And amazement seized them all, and they glorified God and were filled with awe, saying, 'We have seen extraordinary things today.'" Now, if you'd like to, you can pause the video here for a minute and just leave me a comment down below and let me know something that stood out to you from that story. The Pharisees and the teachers of the law were not really happy with what Jesus was doing. They were pretty upset when Jesus told the man that his sins were forgiven. That is something that only God could do, and the Pharisees and teachers didn't believe that Jesus was God. Do you know who else might have been a little bit less than happy that Jesus forgave the sins of the paralyzed man? The paralyzed man. My guess is that man, the paralyzed man, was hoping and praying to walk out of there that day. I don't think he was hoping that his friends would come there, take him on the roof, dig a hole, lower him down, just so that after the crowds left, the friends could come down and get him and pick him up and carry him home with his sins forgiven. He wanted to walk, but Jesus first gave him what he needed. So often we go to God with what we want, what we desire, what we think is best, but he so graciously gives us what we need. Now, Jesus did heal the man's legs. Jesus told him to stand up and go home. And he did. It took faith on the paralyzed man's part to get up and to do something that only moments earlier had been impossible for him. One last thing that we see in this passage is that as the man left, he glorified God. And the crowd, because of what they had seen, gave God praise and gave God glory. God knows what we need, and the miracles in our lives are to bring him glory. Hey, thank you for checking out the video this week and being part of the community as we walk the journey towards Jesus together. If you liked this video, feel free to smash that like button and share it with your friends on the interwebs. I hope that you have a great-tastic week, and we'll see you soon, Raccoon. They dug a hole in somebody else's roof. Who does that? Who? 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 This is my buddy. He helps me focus.